What is up, Facebook Live? No other way than to get into this than to just start off by saying thank you to everyone that's already joined my podcast page on Facebook. I'm on social media accounts. I'm on Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube Live for now because I guess I got to wait a little bit. So I'm still figuring a lot of this out. So thank you for joining me today. This podcast, in a lot of ways, is going to be a platform for just topics that are sometimes hard to talk about, to have room to breathe. So today, what we're covering is MMA. And my hope is that if you're an MMA fan, that you enjoy this. If you're not, if you're a casual or someone that doesn't really care, maybe I turn you on to this. So thank you for joining me today. Really quick, as you can see in the background, I have The Rock right behind me to my left. I just want to say his father passed away today at 76 years young. Rocky Johnson, the father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a pioneer in the world of professional wrestling for African Americans everywhere. May he rest in peace. The Rock, we're with you. Keep making great movies. Keep making your father proud. Let's honor that by going to WWE Network and checking some stuff out with Rocky Johnson, or on YouTube, whatever it may be. As mentioned, we're going to cover a lot of topics. One of them is the UFC, as you can see right behind me and on my shirt. Today we had a live press conference for UFC 246, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. And there's a lot that I took from it. There's a lot that maybe we could talk about and expand on. I won't keep you guys here too long. Thank you for those of you that are joining in. Well, it was a very uneventful event. If you're used to Conor McGregor and his antics, Conor McGregor is one that is going to be, trash talking, playing those mind games. And he definitely didn't do that. Or maybe he is. I don't know. But, have some notes here as far as the press conference that took over today. And there was really zero trash talk. There was zero trash talk on both sides. Cowboy Cerrone is one to just want to have the fight. Let's do this press conference and get it over with. Let's talk in the octagon. So Conor McGregor, on the other hand, where we expected him to maybe trash talk a little more, we didn't see that. There was definitely a lot of mutual respect between the two of them. They did talk about the press conference that took place years ago during the Aldo fight. Maybe it would have been a different press conference back then. Conor McGregor seems to be in a different place now. He seems to be a little more focused. He had a lot of outside the octagon issues that I think he's put behind him, at least for now. We'll see how this goes forward in 2020. They had a lot of mutual respect for each other. Cowboy did credit Conor McGregor's ground game. He said he wasn't just going to go in there and try to take him down and not expect Conor to do something. We actually saw this in the Khabib fight where Conor did actually defend the takedown. It was pretty good. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it was pretty good. So anyways, that's something that he credited Conor McGregor, and I think he's aware of that, and I think Cowboy is preparing for that. McGregor did talk. They did ask him about what's he doing at 170. Dana White was asked a while back, what happens if McGregor wins this fight? And I think a lot of us expect Conor McGregor to win this fight. He said, well, there is a championship fight for him, at 155 if he wants that. But McGregor was asked about 170 and what he's doing there. And what if he beats Cowboy Cerrone this Saturday on ESPN Plus? You do need the ESPN app. You need to subscribe to ESPN Plus, and then also get the pay-per-view. It is, if you're a casual fan, I hate to use that word, and there's one that you want to sink your teeth into, this is probably that. Conor McGregor is the Super Bowl of MMA, whether we want to admit it or not. I think the real fight takes place in April with Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. But for now, this is as big as it gets for the casual fan. So anyways, moving forward, they did ask McGregor about the BMF title and his thoughts on that. A lot of people thought that it was cut short. I thought it was. There is a fighter safety thing to take into consideration. But anyways, McGregor said that he does put the real bout over the BMF bout, and that's really good to hear, just because the BMF bout was something great, was a good concept. It was a gimmick concept, a la WWE type of concept. It was fun. It was exciting. We were all behind it. But he's really looking forward to fighting for a real bout. And it sounded like at 170. There's real problems. There's some real killers at 170. If he goes that route, just be careful. Conor did talk a lot about not looking ahead, being focused, trying to take Cowboy Cerrone out. But he did talk about, you know, looking ahead at other fighters. And that was something that was very interesting. I feel like the UFC, I feel like everyone is looking ahead. They're looking past Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy Cerrone, I just kind of want to touch on real quick on a couple things about Cowboy Cerrone and letting you guys know that this is not just a cakewalk for Conor McGregor. Cowboy Cerrone is tied for first in fights with 33 in the UFC, actually first in wins with 23, first in knockdowns with 20, and first in finishes with 16. Yes, coming off 2 losses, sure, but one of them is Tony Ferguson, and the other one is Justin Gaethje. So those are no slouches. The fact that he lost against those 2 guys, I got to take my hats off that he even took those 2 fights. So that's just a little bit on Cowboy Cerrone. Another thing that I took note of the other press conference was that it was just Conor McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone. It was 2 empty tables, just them 2, and Dana White at the helm. There are other fights happening this night. It seems like the real focus is on Cowboy Cerrone and Conor McGregor, but also not just Cowboy Cerrone. It's really just focused on Conor McGregor. A real upset can take place if Cowboy Cerrone can win this, and he can. Really quick, just to throw something out there for you, look for a high leg kick. That is what I think Cowboy Cerrone will look to take advantage of, and maybe take him down with that. With that said, I think Conor wins this stoppage 3rd, maybe 4th round. But as I alluded to just a little while ago, there are other fights on this card and a lot of good fights. Holly Holm, actually, you can't even see it. Holly Holm, 12-5, fights Raquel Pennington at 10-7. Alexis Olenecki, 57-13. I got to double check that. That's a lot of fights. I don't know if this guy was counting bar fights like Julio Cesar Chavez was, but against Maurice Green, who's 8-3. Claudia Gadelia, who is 17-4. Lex Grasso, who's 11-3. Anthony Pettis, who's 22-9. Carlos versus Carlos Diego, who is 16-2. McGregor and Cerrone, the main event, is 21-4. That's Conor McGregor, and Donald Cerrone is 36-13 with 1 no contest. It's going to be a great night of fights. I see a couple of you joining in. Hello to everyone there. Thank you for your support. Again, the main event is Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. Who do I have winning this fight? I think I mentioned it earlier. I just hope it's good.